Hi, this is Eric Gasser with MTBCornering.com. This is my medical kit teardown video. I did a guide pack video earlier, and this is the one thing that we didn't get a deep kind of look at. So I'm going to go through that now. So I first want to start with if you don't have wilderness training, NOLS does a great job. I actually took their course recently for their wilderness first aid training. I thought it was great. It made me rethink this whole bag. So in the past, this thing would have been completely bulging. I would have had way more stuff than I would have probably needed. So if you haven't looked into wilderness first aid, highly recommend it. These guys did a really good job. One of the things that I think is interesting about their program is that you actually have the opportunity to get a certificate that can be used to purchase EpiPens. And I think since EpiPens are, first of all, expensive, but also could save someone's life if they're allergic or have an allergic reaction out on the trails, it could be a lifesaver. So definitely look into wilderness first aid training in your area. Contact an REI. I did mine through REI. It was pretty simple. All right, so there's that. The next thing is the bag itself. What I did is I purchased a field trauma kit, and I also purchased the 2 people for 4 days. And then what I did is I took all of the heavy bleeding gauzes and tapes and things that come with the trauma kit, and I added them to the 2 people for 4 day bag. So in here is essentially all the extra stuff that is going to be kind of backup, and this I'm just going to keep at home. And this is what I'm actually going to be taking on the trail. So how this works is it's kind of got these 4 compartments, and each one is kind of labeled, and I've stuck with the labeling. So remember, our classes for cornering usually range between 4 to 6 hours. We have anywhere from 4 to 6 clients at any one time. So I don't have really big groups. So I really don't need a tremendous amount. And the other thing is if we do have somebody crash out and we need to kind of execute on an evacuation plan, the trip's over. So if I have a really bad incident, the trip is over. So it's not like we're doing a 10-day trip or a 5-day trip where I may have multiple incidences over a period of time that I'm going to need to kind of address. So this is designed to really handle that 1 or 2, a few minor incidences. And if I had a major one, we're evacuating anyways. So from a medication perspective, I've got Benadryl, I've got aspirin, and as you can see, I really only have like 2 of each because I'm really not going to need more than that for the duration of the trip. Considering, again, it's only 4 to 6 hours. All right, so that's medication. In the kind of wound care, burns, blisters, things like that, again, we're on mountain bikes, we're not hiking, so we're not really going to have blisters, right? So what I've done is I've put things in here that I'm going to need to maybe dress a wound. One is tape. This is the 1.5 inch tape. Ace bandage, packaged gauze, and this comes in this kit, so these are good. It comes with 2, but I'm not going to need 2, right? I'm just going to need 1 because if something goes sideways, game's over. We're off the trails anyways. Q-tips, these are cotton tips. These are good for applying salve, and an Elements shield. And these are huge. I would open that, but you can't really ever fold it back to what it looks like there. All right, so the next thing is cuts and scrapes. For here, I have a few little sachets, 4 sachets of triple antibiotics. I also have these really cool like butterfly bandages. These are great. I actually like these better than the regular Band-Aid, which looks like this. And I've got 5 of those. So 5 regular Band-Aids, 4 butterflies, 4 butterflies. And then I've got this is skin cleanser alcohol wipes. You're not gonna put this on the wound. You're gonna use this to kind of clean up around it so that your bandages stick better. These are antiseptic wipes. These are for like kind of cleaning the area to make sure that you're kind of ready to apply any triple antibiotics or a Band-Aid, kind of cleaning the wound. So that kind of does scrapes, wound care. The next is a little bit more interesting, I guess. These are non-sterile gloves. These are gloves to kind of help do cleanup. And then I have these, which are like pre-packaged, more sterile kind of glove. And I only have two sets of the sterile ones, and 1 set of the non-pre-packaged, I should say. A set of tweezers, and what I do is these things, once I use them on somebody, I recycle them so that I'm not having a problem with maybe cross-contamination. Even if I do clean them, I want to be safe on that. A couple pins. And the next is get a little bit more interesting. These are bandages. So this is clotting sponge. So this is good for when you have kind of a heavier wound and there's a lot of bleeding. You'll want to use this. These bandages, these are just really for like cleaning and dressing. So these are basically dressing material. I've got 2 like heavier, thicker ones. 3 that are thinner, and these are great for putting down and then putting either the gauze or the ace bandage around to kind of keep something on the wound. These are slightly smaller, of the same thing, right? So these are like dressing the wounds. Now these are bandages. Everything I've showed you here so far, except for the ace bandage and these 2 things, came in the kit of either the trauma or the 2 people 4-day pack, okay? So these are basically a bandage with a clear adhesive tape that goes over the wound. So these are great for like, hey, you fell, you hit maybe some branches, you've got some kind of deeper cuts, you would clean them off. Maybe you would pull out some of the rocks with tweezers, and then you'd put this over the wound. And it has a bandage plus the adhesive all in one. These are great, and you can get these at CVS, Rite Aid. These are really cool, and they're super thin. So this is one, and they pack well. Those are great. The next this is for a little bit bigger. This would be for like a thigh or a calf or anywhere, maybe not even a shoulder. Maybe if someone slides on their chest and they end up with some road rash. This is a like adhesive clear Band-Aid. So, and these are really, really cool. It goes straight on the kind of trauma area. But again, for light road rash, things like that, it creates just a barrier so that you kind of continue your ride. If I used one of these, they're not hurt that bad. Typically, it's just some road rash. And I've used these before. When I took the wilderness training, they kind of reminded me that these existed, so I went out and got a couple. And these are kind of expensive. You're going to spend just in a box of these, and a box of these is going to be probably like, I don't know, $25, $30. Maybe you can get them on Amazon for cheaper, but make sure to get the Nexcare or the 3M. So anyways, this is Eric Gasser, MTBCornering, Teardown in my first aid kit. If you think I missed something or I should add something to my kit, just maybe put some comments below. Oh, one last thing. this is designed to flush out a wound. So what you would do is you would suck up some water, preferably from your Camelback, and you would use this to irrigate a wound so that you're not spitting water, which I've seen before, people taking water from their Camelback and spitting it on a kind of a wound. But this works a whole lot better. You'll kind of syringe up some water, you'll spray it on the infected area or the affected area, and then you can kind of go from there as far as treating the wound. Anyways, if you don't have one of these, get one. These are great and they're super cheap. They come with the medical kit. Anyways, if you have any suggestions, things I should add, things I missed, or places that you're like, hey, this is cheaper somewhere else, definitely leave some comments below. And happy trails. Eric Gasser, MTBCornering.com, San Diego, California.